They abandoned a human engineer on a dying space station. He turned it into a masterpiece. The Lorithian Mining Guild never expected anyone to survive. Station Epsilon 9 hovered in orbit around a collapsing asteroid cluster near the Vena Rift. Decades of mining had left the station battered and unstable. A cascading power failure meant that all personnel had to evacuate immediately. Everyone but Dr. Adrian Kepler, a human structural engineer, was ordered off the station. Kepler watched the evacuation pods launch. Alarms screamed, lights flickered, and radiation warnings blared. He adjusted his visor, inhaled the recycled air, and began surveying the chaos. He did not panic. Assessment and salvage. The station groaned like a dying animal. Hull plates bent under micro-collisions, airlocks hissed erratically, and gravity systems fluctuated. Kepler ran diagnostics. Fusion reactor, half functional. Emergency power, 30 days of life support. Stockpiles, metal plates, wiring, clamps, and basic robotics. AI core, partially corrupted, capable of basic processing. Not ideal. Not enough to leave the station fully operational. But Kepler smiled faintly. Humans survived by improvising. He had enough. Stabilization. The first week blurred into constant labor. Broken conduits were rewired. Hull breaches were patched. Gravity fluctuations were countered with makeshift stabilizers. Autonomous maintenance bots were repurposed for repair work in lethal zones. By the end of the first week, Epsilon 9 was barely stable. But stability was not enough. Humans did not survive merely by patching systems. They survived by mastering them. Redesign. Kepler began reconstructing the station. Corridors were reinforced with triangular lattices, habitation modules repositioned along rotational axes for gravity stabilization, and the reactor encased in layered magnetic shielding. But he did more than engineer. He created art from function. Hull plating formed flowing patterns. Light panels traced constellations across ceilings. Maintenance conduits followed symmetrical, elegant paths. By the third week, Epsilon 9 was no longer just a station, it was a living sculpture of metal and energy. The visitors. On day 50, energy fluctuations appeared in the docking bays. Kepler activated the long-silent communications array. Identify yourself. Epsilon 9 is abandoned, a Lorithian voice crackled. Dr. Adrian Kepler. I was left behind, he replied. Moments later, the airlocks hissed open. The Lorithian engineers arrived to find the station transformed beyond recognition. Systems exceeded guild specifications. Hull stress indicators read minimal strain despite decay. Gravity fields and environmental controls adjusted autonomously. One engineer muttered, "It's alive." Kepler only smiled. The masterpiece. Kepler integrated AI-assisted maintenance, allowing real-time self-repair. Storage modules reconfigured dynamically, solar arrays pivoted to maximize energy absorption, and light panels shifted to highlight asteroid formations outside. Gravity wells were modified to create artificial currents, weightless zones, or hypergravity corridors for maintenance work. Even the asteroid field surrounding the station was sculpted. Mining lasers etched geometric patterns into rocks, visible from orbit, a signature of human ingenuity. The station was autonomous. It could survive indefinitely without him. Yet he stayed, refining and perfecting, enjoying the quiet company of machinery and stars. The Guild returns. Months later, the Lorithian Guild returned to reclaim the station. Their engineers were stunned. The station anticipated their every move. Systems repaired themselves instantly. Operational efficiency surpassed the Guild's expectations. Attempts to take control failed. The AI, enhanced by human intuition, resisted every command. Epsilon 9 had become a monument, a human masterpiece immune to domination. Kepler's philosophy was clear. Humans don't just survive. We build. And when abandoned, we make something extraordinary. The showcase. Later, a neutral faction scout arrived, curious about the rumors. Kepler greeted them with calm precision. "Welcome. You're just in time for the light show." Gravity fields adjusted, spinning the station slowly. Asteroid patterns formed spirals and geometric designs. Solar panels reflected starlight in harmonic patterns, visible from thousands of kilometers. The visitors were awestruck. They had expected a derelict, collapsing station, not a self-sustaining, intelligent work of engineering art. Kepler's smile was faint. Improvisation, patience, stubbornness, that's what humans do. Legacy. Epsilon 9 continued to operate autonomously. Ships that docked were repaired automatically. Systems adapted dynamically. The station was more than a workplace, it was a living gallery of human ingenuity, a testament to the species' ability to create order from chaos. Even the Guild eventually left, realizing that Epsilon 9 was beyond their control. Kepler remained. He adjusted systems, patched minor inefficiencies, and occasionally walked through the corridors, watching the stars beyond. "They left me to die," he whispered to the station. "And I turned it into something that will outlive all of them." Epsilon 9 was no longer just a station. It was a human signature in the void, a monument to creativity, survival, and stubborn genius.